Yo, it's Guido. Good morning. Coming at you with a coffee talk. Got my coffee. It is Sunday. It is June 30th, 1st? 30th 1st? One day after the 30th. It's not June. I don't know. I have no idea what's happening right now. I've just been looking at all the magic powers. Maybe as I was looking at the magic powers, I got transported back to June 30th. No, it's August 31st, and it's the end of what, my friends? That's it. Close the doors. We're done. Thank you, Stickler. Come on, Grendel. Give me a break. I just woke up. It's August, June 30th. I wonder what was going on June 30th. That might have been an important day. I didn't say the year either, so it really could be time travel thing going on. Pilgrim is not here. He is out wandering the English countryside on his iron horse with his mates, probably plundering lavender farms from east to west and drinking all the tea. That's what I imagine he's doing right now. So here's to Pilgrim. No, he's off with his mates doing some retiree stuff. So very cool. But we are here, and it is Sunday, the 31st of August. Tomorrow is September 1st. I don't know, Gunners. It wandered away, my friend. It just disappeared. I tried to bring us back to June, but you guys are asking questions and getting irritated. So. Well, we're going to talk about it, but I just looked at the articles. I noticed that the articles for the heavies and the mediums and the lights and stuff had come out, but I didn't have time to look at them. Wow. Holy macaroni. We'll get to that, though. We'll get to that. What's been going on here? Channel news. Just doing the video thing. Drove out to Pensacola yesterday to deliver furniture to my boy for his new apartment situation in college for his last year. So we did a hit and run. Takes about 2.5 hours from here. So good morning, Jimmy. 2.5 out there, a couple hours. We had to buy him a box spring and a mattress. Went into this little mattress store. Of course, the salesman immediately takes us to the most expensive ones. I'm like, no, this is a college kid, and the box spring and mattress are going on the ground. I might spring for a metal frame. So he got the picture quickly. Got all that sorted out. So now he's not sleeping on a blow up mattress and all that. You know, when they have the furnished, either they're in the dorms, which are furnished with the basics, or if they're in some of those kind of college apartments that are around most of the universities and colleges, most of that stuff is furnished. This one was not, so all of a sudden we're buying stuff that we hadn't had to buy before. There you go, Stickler. Yep, good. Picola Beach, good place to go, man. Good place to go. Did I thank you for the sub? I think I did, but let me thank you again. Appreciate it. Yeah, we'll talk about the magic powers, man. Good morning, Kedge. 8th Hustlers morning. Stickler, Jimmy, Gunners, Grendel. Jimmy, thanks, man. Much appreciated. Now, Grendel, let's try to keep this PG, my friend. They eventually start to leak. They're very good these days, though. I remember when I was a kid, they were atrocious. It was more or less like a blow up, like a floaty, I guess, that you use. You know, the floating mattress situation that you use on a lake or on the down in the Gulf or something. But they're nice now. Some of them are really good, but they're not really ever as firm as you can get a regular mattress, I think, in my opinion anyway. Minus any hurt. Yes. Oh, let's not go there. I just checked it. It looks okay for the moment. For the nonce. Where are we? We're end of August. So really we're starting to get into the heart of it, you know what I mean? That September, October time frame is the heart of it. So we'll see how it goes. Good morning, Odd Dog. How you doing, man? So is everybody ready for 2.0? Are we super psyched? Oh, man. Well, couple things are for sure. Number one, if you play tier 8 or lower, the game isn't really changing. The game really, there's some stuff added and whatnot, but if you're a tier 8 or lower, it's not that big of a change. It remains to be seen from tier 9 and higher. Tier 9 used to be kind of a sanctuary tier. Fun tanks could deal with generally the overpowered Tier 8s fine because they were really just 8.5s or even 9s, so at least it was more or less even. You only had one tier above you. But Tier 9, I'm worried about Tier 9 the most. But I'll tell you what I'm not worried about. Not that I'm excited about it, but I'm not worried about the profitability of the booster companies, at least for the next year or so. They should be fine. They certainly have made a surge in advertisement in the garage. In fact, today is the first day I've logged in for a while that I do not have an ad. That's surprising because I've had an ad from somebody on login probably for the last 5, 6, 7 days. How about you guys? You seen a lot of those? You think they're coming after your win rate, Obandu? Well, I'm not going to miss them because I had them turned off. Ah, yeah. Games have been extra awful. I guess probably, I haven't even looked at Tier 10. Are there people playing all the approach tanks like crazy, like the IS-7 and 110E5 and all that? Probably. You had 4 of those going? Yeah. Yep. What's a win rate? That's right. What's that thing? Yeah, so the booster companies seem to be, or at least they seem to think that they're going to get a lot of business. We'll see. I was thinking about this. We might have talked about it last week, but what's the over-under on the first BlackRock that you see? How fast do you think a booster company could get through those? 3 or 4 days? I don't think 24 hours. I think at a minimum it would take somewhere, 2 to 4 days, somewhere in there. I'm just spitballing that. Thinking about someone who's got a team and they're 24/7 rocking it, or one of us who decides they're just going to, one of us regular players that's really good, sits down and gets out the energy drinks and the Cheetos and goes for it. Jimmy says 2 days. I think that's maybe doable of almost 48-hour gaming if you're really good. So yeah, I bet we see one of those in 2 to 3. Certainly not more than about 5 or 6 days. So somewhere in the 2 to 4 for sure, I think. A desk potty, there you go. Well, you got the Depends. You can roll with those. Of course, those will have to be changed at some point. Maybe you could hire one of these in-house nurses. Could I need to hire a no, not the wife. You need a person with professional skills. Wargame can't get the balance right on tier 1 to 10. Coronal, come on, man. Are you saying that they might have messed up some of the tier 11s? Dude, that all right, we're gonna get to it. I read those and I couldn't look. It's not a hero shooter, guys. All right. We're not turning it into a hero shooter. It's not. Well, except for tier 11. What have I been doing though? Well, I've been playing some tanks and stuff. We have finished the much maligned and not quite as bad as you might think, or Krampanzer, which I got the 53% win rate, so I had a little bit of a burst, a surge, if you will. Ended up with 53%, and I was below 50 for a long time on this tank. So I'd say the last 20 to 30 battles I started to get into the groove with it. 42% survival. Not yet, Stickler, not yet. Not announced anyway. 1.35 damage ratio, destruction 2.17. Look at this armor use on this thing. 0.57, that's actually pretty good for a medium. Medium 8. It's all right. The armor was... It's weird because it's got the big tumor. The hull is a little stronger than you would imagine. It has some spaced armor. A little bit of angling goes a long way with this tank. Although then, if you give too much side, there's not much. It's an odd one, man. It's really situational, I guess, in weird situations, but just based on the different angles you get shot at it, for some reason it did okay. I mean, an average of 627. That's two shots blocked average. That's pretty darn good actually for a tier 8 medium. Kind of wild. My average DPG was 1,560, 443 on assistance. I had a 3,806. Is that behind me? Yes, it is. Damage game. So I didn't hate it, guys. 938 average experience is really in the ballpark. I'd love to beat 1,000, but anything in the 900s moving towards 1,000 for me anyway. Average experience is pretty good. That's really where I want to be at tier 8, and this tank was right there. Now I only one marked it and got to 72.75. Speaking of that, what's pretty funny, if you want your Hall of Fame, which no word on whether that's going to survive the change because it's still in beta. Maybe they're going to take it out of beta. But if you want this Hall of Fame to look pretty good, then play tanks nobody plays, because then you can look like this. Number 120 GFT on the server. I am the current champion. Out of, I think, 2? Yes. And that's how you do it, folks. But don't show people this. Don't show them this page. Stay here. just leave it there. Screenshot that. Send it to Reddit or your girlfriend or possible person you want to date, because that is going to go a long way. Just send that out. Send it to your wife. When she says, "What have you been doing all day?" Well, we're old guys, actually. Get your phone. Sorry. I was making it too complicated for us. Get your phone and take a picture of that and then send it to your wife. That's actually faster because it's probably easier just to put that on your phone than text it. Vice, try to take a screenshot and figure out how to get that to her off your computer. That's using the brain pan, fellas. That's reason. I should have won something, Kedge. I should have. Wargaming should have done that. See, you're trying to set me off, man. Wargaming should have done that. There should be a little thing at the end of the month, like, all right, you're number 1 in this tank. You get 5 food or 5 automatic extinguish, something, a 2D style. I don't know, something. All right, so KTTS, I'm also number 1. I think this is out of 3 or 4. 4. Number 1 of 4. A decal. You know what, Grendel? Even a decal. A garage slut. I like it. There you go. See? True. If it's on your phone, then it's easier to show the ladies at the nightclub. You don't have to take them home and show it to them out of the files wherever you saved it on your computer, which could be a little strange. So I like it. As long as it's on your phone, then it's mobile. Yeah, out of 4. There you go. So 2 of the tanks I played over 30 games in, there were exactly 6 of us who played those 2 tanks total. That's pretty amazing. All right, and I'm number 5 in the Toro, which looks a little better. More people played the Toro. Somebody just snaked me because I was number 3 a while ago. Yeah, but number 4 in the Toro, number 12, and this is the KPRPGZV Rompanzer. So number 12 on that, did okay. Look at this guy. He's just Dark Ninja. Just kicking butt in the Rompanzer. 2,572 DPG. What on earth? 722 blocked. That's not that much more than me. Still though, that's nice. 600 something. That's crazy. 2,500. Nobody. There's only one guy that's even at 2,000. He's 2,500. That's amazing. 77% win rate. Nice. I'm with you, Kedge. Initially, I think when I did my review of the Toro, I didn't love it very much. I said it was okay, but by the time I got done playing it, I'm with you. It just, for whatever reason, it was good. Kind of had a lot going on for it. Now it's an auto reloader, I guess. So that keeps it in the game and has great burst, and I don't know, just I kind of liked it too. Doing okay in the Type 57 here. Got 8 battles left, 5,400. Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna be down. I'm gonna be down here a ways, a long ways. Still though, this is a good tank. You can see by how well people are doing in it. I really like the Type 57. I'm not doing very well in the 5A, 1,138. Holy macaroni. 21 battles and 11 battles were left. That's crazy. I'm not good at it. In fact, I stink. All right. There you go. Hall of Fame. If you want to look good, play tanks nobody plays. Play them tanks no one plays. So I finished that. I think I'm on the Object 752. I have played a little bit of, starting to think about getting into the, I need to finish up the WZ. This one I'm just struggling with. I like it. It just, I don't know, there's not much to it. It doesn't really, it's sort of like an IS-7 but worse. I don't know. This one's going to take me a while to figure out, I think. Because I just can't quite make it work. It's more like a medium. Maybe I need to play it more like a medium than a heavy. I did bust this out, not doing well in it so far. Just a couple wins out of 10. This was the reward tank for one of the special, actually it might have been Christmas, I don't remember. What's his name is in it? Was this 2 Christmases ago? Something like that. I think it was the tank that was in the advertisement for that Christmas. What the hell was his name? Was he the soccer player or something like that? Don't know. Anyway, working on that one. This is pretty good. How do you guys like your ELC 901? Vinnie Jones, that's the guy, Grendel. Vinnie Jones. This is a pretty, I'm actually at 84 and only 12 battles or so, I think. 19, all right. So 19 battles, 84% win rate. Doing really well in it. It only took me 19 battles to max out the battle pass, so that's why it's now shelved, because I've done my 100 points. New battle pass coming up, we'll talk about that in a bit. So that's going to sit there, because that's now the only tier 6 that I don't have at 100 battles. So we'll do that slowly through all battle passes, because once it maxes out, you don't get any points other than your daily stuff. Kind of sucks. I wish they'd get rid of that. I was thinking about that battle pass stuff with the tiering. I wish they would just put one max, right? And it doesn't have to be low like tier 4 and 5, but somewhere in between, I don't know, 200, 400, something like that. For all, just the same for all tiers. It's kind of irritating that, I was thinking about this, because if you like a lower tier tank, but you also want to do battle pass, you max your lower tier tank out, and all of a sudden now you're not getting battle pass points for it. I don't understand the push to force people to want to play 8, 9, and 10. I don't get it. Let me know in chat if there's something I'm missing with that. I don't, it's irritating. On the one hand, it's cool, because I kind of understand what they're doing, but I don't. On the one hand, it's cool that you can get a bonus at the lower tiers for less play. On the other hand, once you max it out, it sucks. Yeah. Well, how do they get money out of that, though, Corona? I don't understand how that helps them. Gripe time. Every time I start watching a stream, what others get Kids, I banned you from proc. Yeah. I used my former CC powers. Oh, to buy premiums? I don't know. I think it's pretty easy to get tier 8 tech tree tanks. I mean, to me, Chronal, that's like a secondary or tertiary possibility for that. I understand what you're saying, but I really don't think they set the battle pass points for that. I think they just have this idea, and it's an overarching idea, and I know that, it's not that I think, I know they have this overarching idea of the higher you go in tiers, the more important it is to them. You know, that's where their competitive stuff is. and I don't understand that. I think if they just had the same, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of overall idea for all the tiers. I think they could go a long ways with sort of shifting their stance on that. You know, have competitive stuff at tier 5. Do tournaments and things at the lower tiers. Let the lower tiers do a lot of the stuff that the higher tiers do. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only person who feels that way. Ikibu's on proc, is he? Yes, he is. What's he driving? He's not driving that new tier 11 monstrosity, is he? I don't think they are doing that right. I completely forgot, by the way. There's pretty good drops with mystery drops where you can get a tier 8. I forgot this whole week, so this is the first time I've watched all week, so I'm so far behind on that. He's in the tier 11? Really? No, it looks like a tier 10. I think he's in the bat chat. He's in the bat chat. And now oh man, I've completely lost the plot here. Oh, there we go. All right. Yeah, he's in the bat chat. No, you're all right. Well, that's what I was thinking though when you said that. I was thinking, well, how would that work? How would you get a tier 11 into the matchmaking, even as a tester or CC? I don't think anyone's going to do. Quinn is going to play it. Huh. Oh, right. But there's no common test, is there? No, yeah, you would do it with a press account or with your CC account. I got that. But what I'm saying is I don't think the tier 11 matchmaking is in the game. Closed test. There. Oh, I see. Yeah, if you got enough people going on the closed test, you can then stream it. I'm with you. Yeah, that would be a way to do it for sure. Well, the Asian server is releasing the same day we are, aren't they? On the 3rd? Or are they actually ahead of us as well? Because I think the EU server is behind us. Isn't the EU server 2 days after ours? Some crazy thing. They always test it on us. We're like patient zero. They give it to us and see if we die from it. All right, Risk Channel News. Yeah, that's good. I like the ELC. I'm playing a little bit of the Grom, which is kind of a beast, actually. I'm sort of waiting because I think the CS52C is getting a slight buff, so I'm going to wait for that. But that's the next medium I think I'm going to work on. Although I've brought the Prototypo out. We got to get it set up. Count Opener I'm working on. Vickers MBT. Right now I'm not really focused on any one of these. I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to focus kind of on the 752 with maybe some of the TDs, and I think the CS52 Charlie when it gets its little buff, so it'll be as good as it can be, although it's not great. I think that's where we are with that, guys. And it is the end of summer, so people back to school, kids back to school. Jimmy, I may not have a tier 11 for quite a long time. I have little desire, number one, and I don't, because I'm doing the 100 battle challenge, all those tier 10s, I think, I'll have to go look at them, but I think all of them I have 100 battles in or more. If there's one that leads to a tier 11 that I don't have 100 battles in, that will be the one, I think. I don't know. I'm almost of the mind to just not boycott it, not like declare a boycott, not declare embargo, not that, but kind of ignore it for a while and just see how it goes, how it shakes out. I just don't care, man. Avoid. There's a good word, avoid. And not because I'm necessarily mad. It's just I don't want that shit, man. I don't the hero shooter would let's just call it what it is. At tier 11, they've created their little hero shooter thing with the stupid magic powers, which are just going to crap all over tier 10 and 9. So I'm just not interested, really. Yeah, you got to want the special powers. No, they could. I will not prognosticate or predict specific stuff. I don't think it's good for the game. That's my opinion. I don't know if it's going to matter. I don't think it's good for the game no matter what happens. But I don't know whether it will matter or not. I feel like it will. Some of them seem pretty good. You know, you're talking like you run into one of these things in a tier 9. You know, it's bad enough when a IS-7 has turbo and has a speed build and has controlled impact and you get rammed, right? That's bad enough. Now you have the super IS-7 with super ramming shit, and that's situational as heck. But that's not much comfort at the point of impact when you get deleted from the map by some buffed IS-7 monstrosity going mock snot with extra super damage. That's true, Kedge. That's true. Yeah. Well, that's a good point. He makes a good point, because theoretically, with the way the matchmaker is, it's going to prioritize only one tier difference. Because we're on NA, I think we'll see maybe more 2-tier differences than EU, but we shouldn't see as much. Good point. Still, though, it's annoying enough to me when I'm in a tier 10 and I'm getting rammed by super speed build ramming IS-7s. And I'm only keying in on those because that's an obvious one that's easy to talk about. There's other builds that are as annoying, and you may not even see them much or notice them much. But when you see that 3, because I've run into this several times now with tier 10s, 3 IS-7s with the ramming speed build, and because of their armor and their speed, they can get to places and they can cause absolute chaos. And a lot of times it's overextension and they die. But again, that's it's not very comforting when you're the one guy they freaking rammed out of the game and you're just headed back to garage. Like, okay, that was fun. Just finished the Chisel Tank contract on console. Oh, nice. Was that like a event? Or like a find a friend event? Or what was that? I don't know. I don't know much about the console, man. I haven't really paid much attention to it. Not against ramming, but I really, really hate all the crap players that just YOLO for a ram and throw themselves away. Yeah. There you go. That's what I was saying, Kendall. Exactly right. Ramming is a tool, yeah. Again, I like it. It's cool. And it's a cool system. My issue with it is the builds that can turn it into this just insane level. You know, the tune-up to the... And that's what all the magic powers seem to do. You can tune all these things. I mean, we already have all the equipment. We already have the perk upgrades and the changes. We have field mods. There's all kinds of stuff to tweak the tank into, in some cases, depending on the tank and the capability, into kind of insane places. I'll admit, the Mana Core can get to insane camo and view range stuff. That's the same thing. It's not as obvious, but you get a Mana Core against a less capable, at least in terms of spotting and camo, light tank. That can be miserable, and you may not necessarily notice it other than your team on proc just got absolutely wiped out and the Mana Core has 15,000 spotting. You know? You don't necessarily notice it, but you will when you look at the end of it, and if you dig around, oh, that's what happened. Okay, got it. You know? Because that build, that incredible build, just absolutely overtook your team's light tank. Start getting creative in how to over... And again, the game has been relatively, I'm going to say this and you're going to laugh, but I realize I'm qualifying it with a relatively balanced game. But the edges of that balance keep getting pushed further and further out, and we never really get anything coming back in. You start talking about these powers, you're looking at the tier 11 stuff, and we'll look at it, but it's pretty crazy, the stuff that the tanks are going to be able to do. Let's see what's going on with, we'll get the blue light special out. All right. Uh, I don't even know what's being sold, guys. I think probably now is not the time to buy anything because, as we said last week, theoretically the Tier 8 and Tier 9 premiums, things you would buy, are going to come down in cost. So it's probably not the time to chuck any money at the game right now. Let me get this sorted out here. All right. Show premium shop. Also, there's a new battle pass coming today. Kind of going right into missions here before specials, but today is the last day. It's really tomorrow morning, but today is the last day for these special battle pass, guys. So I recommend you slide the slider today if you're going to do it. Obviously, play as far as you can. If you're like me and haven't finished the other battle pass and are planning on sliding the slider anyway, just do it today, because if you're not going to finish the other chapters, it doesn't really matter. Results may vary depending on what you're doing. I slid the slider, got the Brenos, and now I'm back over to the third chapter, or the third chapter it is. Yeah. Third chapter of the battle pass. So you can see I'm at 16. So I'll play in the next 3 or 4 days, because the next date you're looking at is September 3rd. And that's when this battle pass ends. This patch ends and the new patch comes in on September 3rd. So depending on where you are on your battle pass stuff, you have some sliders to worry about. But today, if you want to get the Brenos, you need to do that today. Technically, it's tomorrow morning at 7 or 8, but remember, invariably there's some server update or some crap going on, so be forewarned, my friends. Be forewarned. All right. Where were we going with all that? Oh yeah, we're going to look at this crap. What do we got? Here's all the collection pack, $134 for tanks you could have got for $31 if you bought them each day. That's a fantastic deal. Do not even, oh my goodness gracious. We have the Chrysler, this is Watt Salute stuff. I like that they have that information there now. My goodness, I don't know why you would ever buy this, but if you had to, it's $46. Again, I recommend you wait for the price to come down. If you were in the market for if you're in the market for a 168.01, by golly, you're going to want to wait a few days, and you get it for $44 or whatever they've discounted it for. And we have a Scorpion, so not much going on with that stuff. What's in the anniversary store? All the same stuff. Again, this one is going away in a day, so if you've been waiting to pull the trigger on the ST66, which has only been available in the store, it's not very often we get premiums these days that are only offered in the store, but that's how this one was offered so far anyway. And it's, again, $43. But waiting for it to get on discount ain't going to help you, because it'll be out of the store at that point. We have the Nemesis. So that's $41. We have the Kust. It's $44. And the Skirta at $47. And some characters if you got to have them, and then some 3D styles. Pretty much bog standard for the anniversary stuff. The last envelope, I believe, is today. Is that right? I believe the last envelope is today. I didn't realize on the envelopes, speaking of, that the last 3 or 4 didn't have a, what would you call it, like a extra award, I guess, for doing the 3rd one in the series, or 4th one in the series. But yeah, today is the 31st, so that's the last one, and it's about an hour away, or 2 hour and a half, whatever it was, 8 or 9 local, I think. Something like that. Sickler bought 4 levels of BP and got the Brenos. Yeah, there you go. I ended up having to buy like 8 or 9. Did you get the ST66, Kedge? I've heard it's pretty good. I had a little hype train going. You gotta like it. Jimmy K, thanks, man. I missed that. Appreciate that, Jimmy. Unless I completely forgot that I already said thank you. Possible. Very possible. Definitely good and fun tank. Right on. Cool, cool. Yeah, so if you want it, you got to get it today. because it won't be, or at least I think it won't be on sale till later. All right. Where were we? What was I doing? I don't know. We were talking about, oh yeah, the premium shop. Yeah. ST66, Nemesis, Kust. Yep, we looked at all that stuff. I think that's pretty much it. Is there any Battle Pass stuff left? There's probably still some missions here. Honestly, the last salvo. Is that new? What does that get you? The last salvo mission. It doesn't tell you what you get. Oh, here it is. Complete one battle and be rewarded with 350 Battle Pass points. When did they release this? This is fantastic. I love Wargaming, man. They are so on top of this gotta get it now thing, man. Just beautiful. This is amazing. And it was original $9.17. That's fantastic. So for $6.41, you can get 350 Battle Pass points. That's seven, right? 7 levels, essentially. 7, whatever these things are up here. Wow. So what is 7 of those? Those are 250 gold, is that right? We can do this math. If you purchase, it's 250 a deal, right? Yes. Okay. So 250 times 7, math in public. Let's figure this out. 250 times. I should be able to do that in my head, but whatever. It's early and I don't care. I want to use a calculator. 1,750 gold, which costs any amount. 2,000 is $10. 1,750 is $9.17. That's where they get the $9.17. So it is in fact a discount. Isn't that interesting? So for $6 and whatever that was, if we go back to Battle Pass, 41 cents. So you're saving $2.50 ish. But for $6, you can save a little money. Of course, you may already have a bunch of gold sitting around, so it's one of those things. The money in your bank you can use for anything. The gold in your account you can only use for what? And picking up chicks. I forgot about that part. That's important. That's an important distinction. If you have the, see, they don't have the Wargaming app, so you're just going to have to pull up the Wargaming page and go to your account and show the girl at the bar that you've got all that gold. You used to be able to go in the app and you could show her your stats. I guess you could show her stats, show her your stats on the web page as well, but it may be a little more difficult, a bit more fiddly than when they used to have the app back in the day. All right. Back in the day. And that's it for that stuff. If we go to missions, speaking of people who spend money on the game, I did right there. All that's done. We got Watt Sleuth Community. There's nothing new here. What's the collection thing today? This is about over. M3A3 Stewart. I'm not sure I have that tank. Probably do. I have most of the small ones. 15th anniversary, that's kind of still going. You do those things. Second mission, I think, after the initial boost, the daily double. And that's that, fellas. No event. We got Battle Pass. There you go. That's all the missions and specials. We're just really waiting for the old Watt 2.0. Kedge, I imagine it would go exactly something like that. What if you opened with that line and then she countered with a better stat? she's a unicum. Oh man. Nerd dreams. Nerd dreams. The new light tank video. Yeah, I saw that, man. We are going to look at that stuff out in Yorktown. We're definitely going to look at that stuff because it's just painful. It is absolutely painful. We might as well roll on to subjects du jour. We're going to get into 2.0. Last week we went over kind of the overarching video of it, but all the details have come out. I'm sure you guys have looked at a lot of these videos, I guess, with the details. So we'll save the magic tanks here for a bit. Get my screen set up here. There we go. So I can watch y'all and watch the chat stuff. So let's go back to their page and start looking at this silliness that we have coming up. I don't think, at least from the Reddit sphere and the online community, the tier 11 magic powers don't seem to be very popular. But it's hard to tell. It's hard to get a pulse for the common player, people who don't pay attention to all the crap that we pay attention to. I don't suppose it's going to change much of anything. People will play them and get in there and do all that stuff. So whether we like it for the game or not isn't going to have a whole lot of... isn't going to matter too much. I think there's another thing here on this. To-do list. Did I finish one? There we go. Gear up. Oh, what do I have to do? Read the details, check access, and install the... Oh, okay. Read intelligence report. Oh, okay. So it looks like that last folder is going to do something here. Is that the last folder? That must be the intelligence report. Read the time. When the time comes, open the envelope containing the report and get a reward. Available today at 10. A new car. You get a new car. You get a magic power. You get a magic power. You get a magic power. All right, so that's the operations room. I don't know if you guys know that, but that's an article. If you go there and you click, some of the things you have to click on these other items around the room. If you click on the to-do list, it tells you all the things you have to do, and you can get some 3D attachments if you care about that. If you didn't know that exists, it does, and that's where it is. Several articles back. All right, we looked at that. We looked at this new garage. I think we looked at the new garage last week. We got whatever. It's a new garage. It's fine. There's the drops. I'm doing that right now myself. All right, I don't think this was out as of last week, and this is the massive rebalance. We're not going to go through all of this, but there are some highlights. One thing I particularly liked, if we go, here we go, tier. All right, so tier 10, light tanks. If we look at the Manticore, and you got to click on this little dude over here for it to drop down. Check it out. All the light tanks are getting more hit points. Actually, a lot of tanks are getting more hit points. They didn't really advertise that. The light tanks are getting the most percentage-wise. A lot of other tanks are getting a hit point boost too. Also, that was somebody advertised, and I've seen people say it in videos, which is complete bollocks. They're like, well, you have to have more hit points and capability if you're going to have tier 11. Why? What do you mean? So the whole tier system's a mess, and now that there's one more tier, all of a sudden other tiers, that's just dumb. Unless you're wargaming and you know the magic powers are going to cause issues. There you go. The Manticore is getting 10 more shells. Fantastic. Because 20 was just dumb. It is the tank I have run out of shells with the most in this game. 30 is probably plenty for the Manticore. You're probably not going to run out with 30. That will let you do a few more risky shots along the way, because you really have to be careful with your ammo in the Manticore. So some hit points and some shells. So that's cool. I don't know, just kind of some of the tier 10. What's the the Tessac. All of these, I think from tier 8 and above, the autocannon things, they're going to do more damage. What? Why? That's just great. Now this thing is horrible, so maybe it needed it because there was no damage bump, I believe, from tier 9 to tier 10, which was dumb on the face of it anyway. I think it was just a slightly better gun, faster reload, slightly better stats kind of thing, but it was the same damage. Still though, especially the tier 8s can just delete people at tier, so it's such a wicked little gun, and now they got more hit points and they got more damage. A lot of these changes, by the way, as you dig through, you might look at it and see, wow, that's a lot of buffs or whatever. A lot of it is removing the lower tier guns, I guess, the interim guns, the intermediate guns, and buffing them in different stages. So sometimes if you look at some of the tier 8s, it looks like there's a bunch going on. Just make sure you read where that buff is going to, because a lot of times it's one of the intermediate guns that you're only going to play maybe a couple times or never, depending on how much free experience you chuck at it. Yeah, did they help the camo or anything with the Tessac? I didn't really, no, just the gun. All they did was give it more hit points and make it do more damage. Yes, 3 marking will be affected by that for sure. Yep. Yep. T-34 got no buffs. Well, it's a premium. Very few. There are a few premiums that they picked, 7 or 8, something like that, maybe 10, that they picked to get buffs. But otherwise, they didn't really do anything with the premiums. And so there's another thing that's weird. You know, we've got some copy-paste premiums. The tech tree version of those tanks got buffs, but the premiums did not. That makes sense. Sure. Yeah, that's good. Like, what did the 100 LT get? Hit points. Sheridan. Some pen buffs on their heat and on the HE, I think. Oh, well, cost. Whoa. Wow. HE purchase cost from 5,200 down to 750. Heat purchase cost from 770 to... What? 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 That's wild. And the HE pen went down. Does that mean they just swapped which one was the premium round? That's what I'm getting from that. Tell me I'm wrong. That is so interesting. The Sheridan purchase 8. Well, maybe I'm missing something. Purchase 4,800 for the heat shield. Is that what it shows? Well, that's not even what I'm showing here. What am I missing here? Is that a different gun? I have a 4,800 silver cost for a heat shield, and that shows I am completely there's something here I'm not tracking. Sheridan. I'm looking at the right tank. Got the Sheridan up. Could be the other gun, yeah. Is that off the 105 lightweight? Yeah, I guess. But I don't understand why they would swap the cost like that unless it was off of the derp. Not really tracking what's going on there. Well, let's look at the pins and see if they match. Penetration 280 on the 152 derp. It's got to be the smaller gun. Yeah, that's all for the smaller gun. That's weird. And it's not really said there which gun it is. See, this is what's so irritating about these charts. Well, 390 is the heat damage. The average damage on the HE is 480. So where's this 700 coming from? Wait a minute. Maybe I have the 105. Do I have the 105 on? That might be my stupidity. I might actually have the 105 on this thing. That's why, because I'm dumb. That's why I'm dumb. I'm looking at the 105, and that's why the numbers don't match. Never mind. I'm dumb. All right. So that is for the derp. My confusion is was stupid, and I was looking at. I have the 105 on the tank for some stupid reason, but there you go. All right, now it's making sense. But it looks to me like they're swapping which one is the premium round, though. To me, I mean, if you're changing the heat cost from 770 to 6,400, and you're dropping the HE cost from 5,200 down to 750, that more or less swaps which one is the premium round to me. Isn't that wild? I think probably because people fired the heat round so much more than the HE round, and it was a pretty good round. Anywho's, that's going on. What's the Rheinmetall? Hit points. Turret durability. Oh. Its 200 hit points came from two different places. Sure, why not? 200 hit points. It's all turret stuff, actually, I think. The top turret's kind of where the hit points live. Although the Tessec just got it. Yeah, because it doesn't really have a turret upgrade, I don't think. We looked at the Tessec. WZ is getting a little bit more comprehensive. Faster. Better soft stats. Better traverse. There's the hit points. Reload time decreasing. So making a combat light tank better. Just pretty much all around better. A bunch of little buffs. All right, so the 132-1 is getting a pretty comprehensive upgrade. So what about, let's just look at some heavies just for giggles and we'll move on. But all this stuff is here. You can see everything you want to see. Let's see. Mouse. What's the mouse getting? Hit points. See, there you go. There's someone else getting hit points. So it's not just light tanks. Here's a buff after a nerf. Remember, this thing was meta for a while. It was some years ago, but it was very popular, very good. And then it got, I think it's been touched like 2 or 3 times, and now it's getting another buff back towards where it was. These are small, though. It's dispersion. That's actually considerable. 0.33 to 0.3, that's a big buff. Yeah, it was one that got nerfed real quick, didn't it? Aiming time. Those are considerable. Those two things. And a lot less dispersion during traverse. Making its gun handling better. That was one of the issues with it. Penetration up a little bit. So that's interesting. What's the 50B getting? Some dispersion help. A little more traverse. A little more power. Not getting hit points. VZ. Slightly longer reload. Better aim time. Damage buff across the board. Yeah, because that's what it needed. Of course, that's offset by a longer reload. So I don't know what that turns out to for DPM, average DPM, but odd. Okay. But for closeout strength, now you're getting slapped for 2 530s instead of 2 490s. Yeah, you're going to take a slightly longer to reload, but I bet on paper the DPM's about the same. but the flexibility of more closeout strength is important. What about this thing that I'm playing? Oh, great. More. Okay. Great. Sure. Kron. The poor Kron. Is it going to be relevant again? Pen buffs. Velocity. Okay. Weird. The Oh, look. Here's a premium with a buff. Well, maybe I'm a liar. I said that. Is this the same buff as the... It is. Because that's just a 111 1-5, right? It got the same buff that the WZ111 did. Well, there you go. Interesting. Where's the other... Let's check another copy pasta. Let's look at Tier 8 Borosks. Go... Oh, look at that. Well, no, we knew these were getting the buffs, though. So that's not that. Let's go with France. There we go. All right. Oh. Okay, so the bird is not a tech tree, so obviously it's not. Never mind, that was a bad example. What's one of the copy pastas at Tier 8? Problem with the Tier 8s is we kind of know about some of them. The Panzer 58th situation we knew about. They said that. Yes, I believe you will get your credits for any modules removed. I don't know if you're going to get... I don't think you get any experience or anything out of it. Easy 8? Yeah, maybe. No, it just shows the Sherman. There you go. That was a good test. There's a bazillion Sherman variants. Problem is there an actual copy pasta of just the EZ8 Sherman? They're all so different. I don't know if there's one that's an exact same stat copy as the Tech Tree Sherman. I could be wrong, but I don't think. I think they're all different variants, but even ones that are technically the same tank, they have different. They already had a couple different stats on them. Su-130. Nope. So for whatever reason, the Quilin got the same buff as its copy pasta. Is the Su-130 the old ISU-152? Is that right? But again, was it the same exact stats? I don't know. I'm not sure if it was exactly the same. What if we just do this? How many gold tanks will we find? Object 590 is getting a buff. I think, though, that was actually advertised, so that's not a copy pasta situation. T-54 was advertised. That's weird. The Quilin might be like a one-off. CS-52 Charlie was advertised. So many clicks. We're almost there, though. Yeah, it looks like... Okay, those are advertised. Those are all basically the same tank, but don't have a Tech Tree version, I don't believe. But they were advertised as some of the premiums that were specifically getting a buff. Nope, that was advertised. Where's the WZ-111? How come it hasn't showed up yet? Oh, it's Chinese. Here it goes. It should be here pretty quickly. That's the one. And I think these were advertised. Okay, maybe the Quilin was in that list. Was the Quilin already in that list? I think it might have been. It might have been on the list of premiums that are being buffed. I don't remember it necessarily being there, but there you go. For whatever reason, it's getting. All right, so that's that. That's enough of that crap. You can dig in there forever, find your favorite tank. Lots of buffs coming up. So that's their massive balance. Matchmaker 2.0 Reforged. Reforged. Let's see. There was a little, I wouldn't necessarily call it an Easter egg, but there was a bit of a surprise in here that they released on us. It sounds a little bit creepy, actually. If you liked Encounter, Assault, or Grand Battles, too bad. Gone. Retired for now. Have they ever retired for now anything that came back? Maybe. Not many, though. That's not the usual. The usual is we're removing this for now. It goes down the memory hole. See ya. That being said, now that we're on Matchmaker, we'll have a little discussion on that. However, we've been at this in an hour. I'm almost empty of coffee. We're going to take a break, 5 minutes. Go ahead and rehack your coffee, beer, scotch, tea, whatever you're having right now, water, all that good stuff. And we'll be back in 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes? In 5 minutes.
Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Now in the shadows came a mysterious chap who spoke in a tongue with strange dialect. He offered his help to the mighty Guido to bring some laughter to his love of speedos. To the coffee talk they both came, to bring the message of winning ways to all and sundry and the masses. Yes, that's right, lads and lasses. The damage counts and flexing back will keep you on the right track. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. So in what, if you want to progress, then seek out Guido nonetheless. With his sidekick Pilgrim, he has a message that to win you must be aggressive. The position and place that you must seek, for the winners only, not the weak. The guru speaks, so listen well. His voice rings out like the Liberty Bell, to bring you all to Unicom land, or to die hard trying in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. To the swamplands came the mountain man, to teach his wisdom and pay his due. A man with a name only known to a few. To his followers his words are true. Guido is the man, big and gruff. He used to fly jets, but now he does the tanking stuff. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. The mountains are home where he watches the moose and hummingbirds aplenty. But he saw the need for the Wat community to have a guru and lead them gently. road to Unicom land will die, trying hard in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido! Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido! So we broadcast his message far and wide, using YouTube, Twitch, and various means, to lead you to the promised land of WR. Win 8 and damage counts. That a mortal man is only stuff of dreams.
Alrighty, fellas, we were back. Where's tier 10 mediums gets barely any buffs. Concept 5, while tier 9, which I like, is getting many, many buffs. Yeah, the concept, there's people pretty irritated about the concept 5, I guess. Yeah, better turret armor would be helpful. So that it could at least do a little bit of hold down stuff, right? So matchmaker, let's see. Smarter team composition. Combat role as well as vehicle type. Okay, sure. No more armor-clad breakthrough heavies on one side and autoloader support heavies on the other. Look, I happen to agree with what Quickie Baby said on that and several others, that variety is the spice of life, provided it's not completely out of control. But you're now starting to talk about some real specific matchmaker kind of rules. So we'll see. I mean, I kind of get it, and I think really it'll be flexible enough that you'll still see some of those things. And I'm gonna caution everybody, and I think I'm right on this. I don't think +1, -1 is gonna do what you want it to do. It's not gonna make you better. It's not gonna make the games fairer. It's not going to make the results really that much difference. I hope I'm wrong. And if I am wrong, then I'll admit it. Of course, it's all subjective, according to what you think and what I think and all that good stuff. If it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, then I will retract and say, yep, that worked. I don't think it's going to. I think the game's better +1 or +2 -2. I think it's better that way because it's fun to be the top bad boy. You don't always want that. You don't always want to be on the bottom. I know we all think we're always on the bottom of the pile. I get it, but you're not. So that kind of, I'm a big stompy monster tank amongst all these little child tanks, and I'm going to, just sweep aside some of these guys. That's going to happen less. If it's less enough to matter, I don't know. But I really don't think it's going to do what you think it's going to do. It still doesn't take into account the players. There's that piece as well. I enjoy doing well in tier 8s. I am quite often at the top of the experience list in my 8s against 10s. Because I can get damage, I can play, it's interesting to me. I like the fact that I'm kind of the support role. I also like being the top guy. I like doing that too. But that's why the spice of life, that's why the whole thing to me is interesting. I think it's a big part of why people are playing the game 15 years later. I think the company Wargaming has really lost sight of what their game is and what its strengths are. I think they take its strengths for granted, and that any kind of crap they throw at it, the strengths will overcome. And I think that's been true for a long time. I think it's less and less true. And they might be approaching the place where it swaps. So the strengths of the game, of the basic core concept, are no longer able to overcome the stupidity of the things they've added. Guido's opinion. Tiger, what's up, man? That's just the way I see it. Let's see, class limits for tactical variety. Now this is going to, I think, help maybe kind of 3 artillery. That's what it's been. Usually it's 2, rarely do you see 3. 3 is extremely painful. 5 TDs. I don't really see a whole lot of more than 5 TDs. There's enough that you notice. But that's fine. It won't be 6, 8, and 9, which we've all seen. That's great. I missed 7. when you get to 6 or 7, 6 and 7 is pretty relatively common enough that I can remember a decent amount of those. If that goes away and we go to 5, that's great. What I have said about that in the past, though, either all those TD players will just sit around in queue and eventually get in a game anyway, and maybe some will go that I don't want to wait, and that might be an issue. I don't know what it's going to look like. On NA, maybe you get 6s and 7s because it just doesn't have enough people to work for and don't work with. I don't know about that. Or if the wait time's a problem for TD players, they'll just play different tank like a TD. None of that is going to do anything about the players. That's just going to limit where the matchmaker is and then have ripple effect on whether players play your game or not. If maybe it brings non-TD players back because they like that there's not so many TDs, but I don't think that's a massive factor in people leaving the game just because there's TDs. It's an annoyance to constantly be dealing with the super alpha, everybody on the red line in a bush kind of stuff. But that gameplay style is not because there's TDs in the game necessarily. It's because the players are passive, and the rest of the game sort of leads to that based on how fast you can get eliminated with all the super alpha and auto cannon gun reloader loaders and everything else. So we'll see if that really has much to do with anything. The light tank thing's been around anyway, so that's not true. I don't think it had a hard cap. I rarely saw more than 3. It can be annoying when there's 4 or 5 and you're on a spotting mission or on a spotting map, but that just means I get to outplay 3 or 4 or 5 other light tanks. I don't actually have much problem with that. So, don't know if ultimately that matters. We talked about the tier thing. I beat that dead horse. Same tank armies. I kind of like this. And I don't know how you... This goes back to the team composition piece. Those two are kind of the same thing. They're very related. It was annoying to be on a team that had 3 IS-7s and you had an AMX-50B and a 3 kind of, I don't know, lighter heavies, if you will. I don't really know how they're going to change that. I guess if you looked at it and you go, hey, I got 3 of the same tanks and just swap some, I guess. But you got to make those rules. So unknown how they really are going to do that. All right, faster matches, smarter queue logic. Have you other than going at low population times on this server, or if you for some reason went to South America, for any of you EU players, other than maybe on NA getting down into like tier 1 or 2 where you can wait a long time or maybe even get kicked out of the queue, because the problem is players, not matchmaker. I don't wait for games. Right? What is that all about? Throwaway words? Faster matches. What do you mean faster? As in the match will end faster, or I'll get into it faster? Maybe that's... Maybe I'm misinterpreting faster matches. Maybe they're advertising more blowouts. I don't know. Yeah, I don't wait very long at all, Grendel. The difference between waiting 10 seconds and 5 seconds is kind of whatever. I don't know. And then there's the thing I started with. Encounter, assault, and ground battles have been removed for now, probably forever. Freeing up matchmaker resources previously... Okay. I never read that part. I guess maybe as they looked at the way they've done it and the coding and how they're planning to do matchmaker, those things were causing issues, probably because they probably had slightly different rules. Certainly the one that was only creating there's always 15 players. I don't know, they seem to think more and varied balanced battles. After update 2.0, team compositions are more balanced. We'll see about that. Yeah, that's all the stuff we talked about. Built to evolve with you. Certain fun. See, and this is what I was talking about, and I find it interesting that they actually dealt with it a little bit, or even talked about it. To be honest, certain fun and unusual setups, like all TD rosters or wider tier spreads, will show up less often. That's by design. The main goal of the new system is to deliver a more competitive and satisfying experience for everyone. I don't think that's going to do it. But it's not static. We will continue to closely monitor. Sure. All right, so there you go. Matchmaker could be one of the more interesting things that we see. We'll see if it, at the end of the day, really ends up mattering. So this is a way to introduce a new map. I think it's kind of clever. Not bad. They've got the new map, and then you're going to do this Operation Boiling Point, which is a PvE single-player situation. But Wargaming has dabbled in that multiple times. Yeah, the same tank thing is probably a good one to deal with. So you're going to start in the Pershing for some reason, and then you're going to be able to drive the Object 432U, the Leopard 120, and the Super Mausch and Teschenrat thing. Look how big that thing is. It looks like a Type 5 size. I mean, the Maus is big, but that thing's like Type 5 size. So you'll be able to work on the new map. You'll and I don't know, did you guys read? I didn't read this yet. Do you have to finish this thing to open up the third personal mission stuff, or I don't know. So you jump in PvE. It's got a thrilling plot though, according to them. Pick your difficulty. So I guess there's several difficulties and rewards. Yeah, there's regular and rigorous. Swap to the tier 11, call in airstrikes, great. Respawn up to 4 times, yada yada, twice on rigorous. Earn rewards. So here's the rewards. It's not much, but it's stuff. Rigorous has more stuff. There's some bonds involved. Free experience, some silver. Free experience, a day of premium. So, you know, little things, that's alright. Nordscar is the map. Get ready to fight Nordscar. This is, as we said, a version, and it used to be a winter map, I believe, of one of the map recon missions. So I think we've probably had, let's see, not Pearl River, but Oyster Bay, I think, is one of those maps. I think we have 2 or 3 of those in the game now. Oyster Bay was one of them. Oh, what's the other one? There was one other, I think, that have gone in the game, at least 2. This may be the 3rd or 4th one of the, I don't know, 24 maps they did back then, years ago now. God, it must be 2 or 3 by now. But it was a winter version, but this is kind of a version of that-ish. Although this whole section over here with the rocket, that was not on that map. It had like an open center area, had kind of, this side over here was like the light tank area over here, and then they had the factory thing going on over here. I think this was the one that, actually this was like one of the #1 voted ones, and then it just went away, and everyone's like, what on earth? Why did you not do this one? But this is very different. They certainly did a lot of modifications to it, but it looks to be basically the same kind of, the same map, core map kind of idea. Explore everything. It doesn't say here. I still don't, and I haven't watched the video, so I still don't know how you unlock that. All right, so you got the Nordscar thing. Here it is. Maybe it says here on Sector 3. Okay. Earn the legend. Why is it a legend? Also, why is it named BlackRock? I find that to be a dig. I really do. It's like some kind of insider dig or something. I don't know. It's a kind of controversial company in the U.S. Surely they know what BlackRock is in the U.S., but they named it anyway. Not that I'm necessarily against the company or anything. I'm just saying it's got its, you know, people have feelings. They got their feels about it. All right. It's the rarest tier 11 vehicle. The ultimate reward, and you too can have it in, I don't know, 3 or 4 days if you pay somebody. Just follow the adverts that you get in chat. All right, this thing has a magic power, probably one of the dumbest ones actually that I saw, and there's a number in contention for dumb, and this is probably in there for the dumbest. You shoot twice, and then you get a double shot for free. Sure. Why not? So I don't know, Kedge. That's my question. I don't know how you get access to it. It sounded like you had to do that little single player thing and finish it to unlock this. That's kind of what I got from the video, but it wasn't very specific. So each operation is divided into 3 mission series: Vanguard, Ambush, and Assistance. So each of the 3 tanks, the Blackrock being the last one, there's a tier 8, a tier 10, and a tier 11. Each of them has all 3 of these that you have to do. So it's a lot. There's a lot of grinding that you're going to have to do. Obviously, the tier 8 is probably relatively easy. Tier 10 will get harder, and the tier 11. But from what I'm looking at and hearing and reading, it looks like you can just grind through it. Kind of like getting the Caro 45. It takes a while, but you can get there eventually. Obviously, I think the better you are, the faster it will go. But there you go. Also, it is split out kind of strangely a little bit. The Vanguard and Ambush are the same classes, heavy, medium, and TD, but it's broken out into the roles, which is irritating, but there you go. So all of these types of tanks have these roles, or all of the tanks have a specific role. So a medium with whatever these 3 roles are can only do Vanguard, and a medium with these 2 roles can do Ambush. There you go. And Assistance is arty and light tanks. No roles here. Although I don't think light tanks have roles, as far as I can tell. Do they? Versatile light tank. Well, I guess they do. Or are they all versatile light tanks? Versatile light. That must be they're all versatile light tanks. They were given a role because, by God, we gave nope. Well, wheeled light tank, but that's a different. Things with tracks appear to be versatile light tanks. Things with wheels are wheeled light tanks. There you go. Also noted, no tier 11 arty were introduced in the game. Yep. All right. Not that I'm necessarily against that. It's just poor arty players. They keep getting kicked in the junk. You may think that's good. I don't think that's good for the cohesion of the game. 3 operations, 130 missions, 1 epic pass. I'm not going to dig through this too deeply. There's Ambush 8. This is just some examples of things that you have to do. Stun 3 enemies with a single shot 4 times. Spot 6 enemies while remaining unspotted. That's quite a few, actually. Especially remaining unspotted. There's not a whole lot of maps where you can make that happen without also getting spotted. Huh. Oh, there you go. I guess this means because you can play it in artillery or light tank, you can do one or the other. You don't have to do both, I guess. Or maybe you have to do both to complete it. Again, some of this is very... There's still questions. It may have been a comment, Grendel. So Operation Windhund. Here they are. You can dig through these. Let's see. This is the easiest one, right? Theoretically. All right. So let's see. Vanguard 1. Cause damage by firing 7 times. 2 enemy heavy tanks. 2. Does that mean you have to hit them? Or you just shoot it to them? All right. Have total damage caused and damage blocked equal or exceeding twice your hit points. What do we got here? 75,000 credits. These are pretty good. Day of Premium, Booklet, To select from 40 campaign points. Oh, 40 campaign points. Okay. A gun rammer. What else we got? Let's go down. These are ambush. So an ambush one. Cause twice as much damage as your vehicle's XP. Sure. Earn the tank sniper reward. Okay. Destroy an enemy vehicle, causing at least 1,500. Cost 4,500. High caliber. Cause an assist 4,000. None of these seem to be... This one's probably pretty easy. I think the Windhund one is probably going to be pretty easy. What about assistance, where people are going to get irritated? Yeah, it is an either or. Look at it. Cause damage to an enemy SPG and survive, or stun 8 times and survive. Top player by experience. Ouch. That's very difficult. So my recommendation is you don't do that in Arty. Do that in your light tank. Earn the Mastery Badge Class 3. Okay. Confederate. So they're not either or. Some of them are, you can do either. Destroy 2 SPGs or light tank. Oh, look at that. Or light tanks. All right. Let's just take a quick peek at how hard, so to speak, it will get with the Blackrock. 4,500 within the view range. 6,500 that hit your vehicle at least one. What? The hell does that mean? Meaning one of them has to hit you, or all the ones you get damage from have to hit you? Boy. So we're going to have to... It's going to probably take a while to figure out exactly what the hell they mean, as always. Block 4,000 HP of damage, or cause 6,500. Okay. Well, does it, Grendel, or does it mean you have to damage one of the guys that hit you? Or do you only get your hit points counted for other guys who hit you? Meaning, like, that is one of the most riggable missions of all time. If you get enough guys in there and they shoot you, then you can shoot them. Goodness gracious. Alright. What about ambush? Something costs 2,000 to immobilize. That's a lot to immobilize, actually. Or destroy 2 heavy tanks. That's not that hard. Costs 5 times more damage than... Oh, this is over time also, isn't it? These are not per battle, are they? I think that's the key here. I forgot that fact. I don't think these are in a battle. These build, right? I don't think any of these are per battle. I didn't notice this either. Missions 1 through 10 must be completed twice in different vehicles. Okay. Did you guys see that? What? Okay. Alright, so you got to do it in a different vehicle. That's kind of cool. Is that same thing going on for Dravik? Each one must be completed twice in 2 different vehicles. You can't use the same one twice. So all of these have to be done twice. What about Windhund? Each one only needs to be completed only once. Okay. Yeah, didn't notice that one. I think these are over any number of battles, right? Well, no, because this is a battle. Obviously, the way it's written, top player and cost 3,500. So that would be in a battle. These sound like they're per battle, in a battle, but I don't know. Huh. All right, well, that's what those look like. There's some questions remaining there that I'm not sure of. Progress, maybe it will say here. Complete series missions to earn campaign points. Fill the operation progression bar and assemble your dream. Okay, it's here. In the third campaign, old daily missions and new weekly also grant campaign points to help you progress permanently and get through challenging missions that aren't so easy to complete. Okay. However, series missions are your main source, so don't rely too much on dailies and weeklies. That doesn't really answer the question. So it sounds like slowly you can progress through stuff that's hard. So here's the big progression thing, kind of watching all the points. Okay. 3 ultimate rewards, Windhund, Dravik, Blackrock, yeah. Campaign rewards, pretty standard. We got some 3D stuff. Why does that say 360? Is that a year of premium? 18 single days. What is this? Really? So one of those rewards is a year of premium? Wow. Which one? That's crazy. Was it in there? Like at Operation Blackrock have a year of premium on one of the 15s? It's random? What the hell does that mean? It's random. What? Sector 3. Completing all 3 operations with honors reward you with an ultra rare badge, a set of 5 3 detachments, and a year of Watt premium account. Completing what now? All 3 operations. All 3 operations you get a year. That's what it means. So completing all 3 with honors, which I think is just completing it. There's no real honors in there, I don't think. I didn't see any honors in there. It's just getting it done. What am I missing? Oh, end. No. I don't know what that means. Anybody know what that means? Don't know. All right. Where were we? Progress and earn 3 ultimate reward. There we go. Some characters. Some basic characters. 15,000 bonds. 38,250,000 credits over all that time. Bunch of books. Campaign points, whatever. That's how you get this stuff. Who gives a shit? Some tier 1. So 12 tier 1 pieces of those. That's not very many of those actually for all that grinding. There's 7,500 components thrown in there too. So there's the bulk of your experimental stuff right there. And some base models to use that on. Some basic equipment. Does not look like there's any bounty. I don't see any bounty equipment in there. Honors is consecutive. Have to start over if you don't get honors. Oh, good lord. Earn exclusive 3D styles. 2D styles. Alright. It's again not clear exactly how you get this open. Is it just there? Or do you have to finish the personal missions? I don't know. Onslaught's coming back, by the way, guys. You can pre-upload. Alright, here we go. You ready? This is the fun part. You guys ready for magic powers? You ready for... It's not a hero shooter, man. Sure it isn't. Is that why we have this? A new era of heavy armor. Sure. Alright, here's the upgrade thing. This replaces field mods. It's just field mods of a different variety, essentially. It's something to grind in your tier 11 to eventually get a better superpower. And then it's a bunch of little boosts. So we got You can get a second slot. That's familiar. You can alternate configuration. That's familiar. Improve unique mechanic. Okay. Nodes to significantly increase the vehicle's characteristics. All right, so it's field mods. Right here, you can go through them and figure out what they are. They are kind of small, really. If you look at this on the overview, you can upgrade to more damage. So, but from 510 to 520, so it's not massive. And looks like you get a little faster and you get some more hit points. So basic upgrades to basic stuff. Firepower wise, same idea. You can click that little thing. What do we get? We get slightly better dispersion, faster reload, 10 more ammunition. Okay, sure. Which is fine, actually. I'm complaining about magic powers and I'm complaining about 10 more. Fine, great. I don't know if you're ever... Do you even have enough time with this thing's reload to shoot 70 shells in 15 minutes? I don't think so. I don't even know if you fired the second it reloaded for 15 straight minutes. I'm not sure you can even get through 70 shells based on what its reload is. Maybe. All right. Practically, no way. Survivability. We've got extra hit points, and that looks like everything there. Mobility. A little bit more horsepower, and you go a little bit fast. Man, 18, this thing is slow. 18 is incredibly slow. Wow. And your upgrade only gets you to 20. 20 is insane. What is the miles right now, though? Maybe Oh, it's 20 now. Well, Mouse is already 20. All right, so it's slower than a Mouse and then gets to Mouse speed. All right, I didn't realize it was that slow. All right, so Taschenrate, what does it have? An HE burst, pressing X, Pilgrim, by the way. And then you can click on this if you didn't know, and it'll show you that little graphic. So the little X comes up, he shoots and then blasts with another X. So right after you shoot, and then you're on a reload, your HE reloads too. Once the little superpower is activated again, you shoot again, and then you finish them off with HE. It's just extra damage. It just does more damage. Sure. It's hitting you with 520 anyway, whereas the mouse was at 490, so it's got a little bit more than the mouse. It's already slapping for 520, and then whatever that HE is doing, sure. Here's the super rammer, the super IS-7. It's the same speed. I looked it up. I didn't realize the IS-7 was already, it's almost 60. Not my IS-7 is sitting at 59 point something for some reason. I don't know why it's not a round number, but it isn't. This thing is 60 kilometers an hour. Same idea here. You do get some upgrades. I don't know, is there ever a mobility upgrade? No, it doesn't get any faster. So you can look through that, a few more hit points, all that good shit. But its superpower is, I don't know if it hits X. Drawing on designs earlier model vehicles especially configured for deadly ramming. Structural reinforcements allow it to deal more damage of ramming and giving an upper hand in close quarters encounters. I mean, you just notice it just dropped 1,000 on that guy. Increases damage dealt while ramming. I don't really know how that works. Whether it might be the longer it's getting up to speed, the more damage it does. But there you go. Yeah, probably just a passive bonus to ramming. All right, the T803. Oh, I missed this one. We now have, so we've got an autoloader, auto cannon, auto reloader. Is those the three kinds? And like a reverse auto reloader. And I counted, I think there's 3 or 4, maybe 5 different now types of reload thing going on with this tier 11s. Here's one of them. A semi-automatic auto loader. Increases the rate of fire with every successful hit. Chain hits for devastating DPM strikes in the thick of battle. So basically, it's got that little marker on the left side. And it will reload faster the more hits you chain. Every time you hit the enemy with a shell. I guess if you miss, it resets. Somehow the gun knows if you hit or didn't. Is that what I'm getting from that? Every time you hit an enemy with a shell, you gain a reload efficiency level. So if you miss, your gun's like, sorry, I can't go faster because you missed. That's dumb. All right. I declare that stupid. Embattle, a fast-moving autoloader, sure, brings flexibility and finesse. Keep the last shell chamber to reload the partially loaded clip faster and trigger 5-shot combos with clever use. Okay. The cassette loading system. God dang, we needed one of those. All right, let's see what happens here. We shoot, so 3 shells, we shoot. Now, the 3-shell cassette starts to reload. See that it is now rising up with reload. You still have a shell. If you shoot the last shell, the reload will continue, but it slows down a little bit. See how it went red? And now it's slowing down. But I'm trying to hit space to pause it. Notice that even though you fired the last shell and your reload on the 3 cassette was close, it still also reloaded magically the shell you just shot. Let's smooth out my eyebrows here. They're getting ruffled. Yes, 8-track autoloading Betamax Super Embattable. He's dropping 420. What's this other guy dropping? 420. At least it goes 65 also. Good gracious. What's this sad thing going? 38. Stupid American tank. You're slow. French tank, 65. Bam, bam, bam. Can't push because he's got a shell. 25 seconds later, 4 more shells. Awesome. All right. The Contriver. As far as I can see with this thing, and it has dual tracks, so I don't know if that actually does anything in game or not. Whether it's harder to track because of that, don't know, but it does have it. Have 4 tracks. It's a double barrel. From all I can tell is it's just a more accurate double barrel. Is that what you guys are getting out of it? I don't see much else. Offers double damage and improved stabilization that costs mobility, accuracy, turret traverse speed, and aiming time. Best used in close combat. Is that not what they already have? Is it just a better double barrel? It's just a buffed can opener, sure. So its magic power is probably the... I'm assuming the double shot is just better, even though it's less accurate than a single shot. Yeah, there it goes. Zooms down in there. I don't know. So that is probably as close to what the Tier 11s should be than most of these Tier 11s. This is more or less just a passive thing. And it says Contriver. All right, first of all, the name is fantastic. Talk about contrived, but there you go. Good job, Wargaming. I see what you did there. It's just a better Tier 10, essentially. Yeah, sometimes they trip. Coronal, man. You're supposed to be watching Coffee Talk, and then you wouldn't go 0-8. If you just watch Coffee Talk, then you'd be 0-0, 50% right now. Or is that 100%? However you want to look at it. Anywhere from 0 to 100, whatever. BZ-79 is just always has rockets. It's just unlimited. It has a cooldown. Sure. Why not? What does it do? It's just burst of speed when you need it most. The boosters heat up and must cool down before they can be reused. Oh, look at them. They look like impulse engines from Star Wars or Star Trek. I like it. What is this? Oh, I see. Okay. Oh. Great. Takes much longer if you overheat them. Can you basically play them out at the lower level and essentially never lose them? Yes, you can. Go to there and come off the power. And it's immediately... Oh, okay. Great. That's awesome. Okay, sure. Now, the thing about it is, it only does 32. So I don't know what speed it gets to. It's probably carrying a lot of armor. Is that what I... Well, yeah, bit. I mean, the French one does 65 without rocket boosters. I don't know what this thing gets up to, but it's carrying more armor than the 50B, or the Super 50B, or whatever that thing is. Great. All right, so it never basically loses its rocket boost if you play it right. And then we have the BlackRock. This one is super stupid. We landing 2. This gun also knows things. It knows if you've penetrated. Landing 2 armor penetrating hits triggers burst mode. If you don't penetrate twice in a row, it doesn't know how to load its cassette. It's like, I don't know how to do that. Sorry, you have to pen. If you pen, then I know how to do it. If you don't, I can't load the cassette. This is a burst fire cassette. This is what, the 4th or 5th different kind of super magic thing. There it is. Cassette's loading. It knows how to do it. I have 2 pens. And double shot of love. Boom. Boom. Those are the heavy tanks. Wow. Wow. Medium tanks. What do we got here? Same thing. We've got some field mod situation-ish going on. Not called field mods, not field mods. The 432U is... You ever play the game where you... Yeah, the crew's back there rubbing the shells, and they get really warm. They put them under the heat lamp. Shell in the heat lamp. Gets super hot. Makes sense, I guess. Built to trade shots and break lines. The first true bruiser in the medium class. Is that spaced armor on the turret? Kind of looks like it. They flicked the bick. Alright, what happens here? Okay. If your gun is loaded, you can begin heating up. How do you do that? Oh, wait a minute. Heating up your next shot. The higher the heat level, the greater the bonus. Oh, hit X. Oh, right. Look at that. Did we shoot too early? Give us a superheated shell. What are we getting to? It's not going to show us that, is it? Okay. 470. Heat it more. For 530. Oh, you didn't go to 9,000, man. 530, halfway there. So what are we thinking? Close to 600 alpha if you heat the shell up enough. There you go. 560. Oh, even more. Great. All right, there you go. So we heat a shell up. Got it. The verbessert. Why have dessert when you can have a verbessert? Analog ballistic computing device. The ABCD. Oh, Wargaming, I see what you did. I get it. The ABCD. Okay. What does this do? The longer you wait, the more devastating your shot. So basically, the same thing as heating up your shell for more damage. You're just holding a button to get more damage, is what this is. But you have to be moving slowly or stationary. Okay. What is... Oh, we're aiming in. We have a weird graphic on both sides. That won't be distracting. Why did we need the big graphic? Why are we aiming at the turret ring? Is he going to shoot the turret ring? Super accuracy. Badoosh. I don't think we need to shoot the turret ring from the side, but that's okay. Oh, ability on, ability off. One has a bigger square for some reason. What is it? What's happening? That didn't make any sense. Okay, press the button, get more accurate. Do more damage? Or is it just precision? Near perfect gun handling. That's what we need in this game. We need more accurate stuff with minimal dispersion. Even during movement? Okay, so you don't have much dispersion problems with movement if you're going slow enough. Okay, sure. Great. Exactly, Grendel. Or if you're a bushwanker. Skal, which means hyena, I believe, in Polish. It has a rapid or rapid mode, which the one before it has. So it's rapid-erliness. And then it has better gun performance, including accuracy and reload. Passive kinds of stuff. Well, not necessarily true. Press E to trigger a short-lived boost. So I press X to go to... Oh my gosh, I have to have another key? Ion discharge. Afterburner. Woohoo! Ooh. They didn't want anything to actually do 100? Why not just have it do 100? Who cares? Press X. Oh, we have an X and an E. Oh my gosh. We have to X to get accurate, and we have to have a little weird symbols, because that's important. What is this thing? Coincidence electromechanical, not magnetical. Electromechanical site. What is going on here? We accurate. Sure. Why is it... What's this mean? Are we getting more and more accurate the more electromechanicals? We just shot his track off. Take that. Reduces dispersion and reload time and improves accuracy. How fast is he shooting? Was that like 4? Now we're losing. Now we're losing it. Tactical power pack. Why is that one so complicated? That one's... What? Congratulations, Polish tank players. You get the weirdest, most complicated version of special magic powers. The ASS XX 40T. This one I don't understand. This one I actually... Somebody help me with understanding what this means. Reinvented autoloader. So there's the 4th or 5th different autoloader, loader, reload. The reinvented autoloader with an external shell bay, letting you manually pause, resume, or interrupt reloads. Choose how many shells to load and how many to spend. A fake reload might just bait your enemy out of cover. 5 shells with plenty of options. A perfect, so you can choose 1 to 5? Is that what it says? This video explains it? I bet it doesn't. Okay, we're reloading because that little thing moved. Sure. That's 1 shell. Oh, I got you. So you can stop it and shoot those 2 shells. Got it. Oh, so you see the autoloader thing come up. They're like, that guy's on a reload. I got all kinds of time. And then he says, sorry, I'm shooting 2. Sure. Watch, he's going to trick him. Because this guy doesn't have any idea what's going on. We're going to load 3 this time. Nope, we're loading everything. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we're going for all 5. Okay. So it's basically an auto reloader. Manually selected by the player how many they're going to load or reload or use. As long as you have 1 loaded, you can shoot it. So it's an auto reloader. With a physical thing going on to kind of trick people, I guess. They're going to trick you because you don't know about that mechanic. You can't possibly know the power. Okay, well, there you go. That's what that one does. Awesome. The hacker. A gyro stabilizer to eliminate aim penalties. Once again, making something super accurate once again. And I think it gets rid of most, if not all, of the movement, hold traverse, and turret traverse, allowing for more accurate firing. So once the gyro stabilizes, I guess it's always there, and then it has a cooldown. Was the first shot? Oh, you press X. Got it. Press X. There you go. Why did he shoot so fast? Is it an autoloader? What am I missing there? All right, he's going in there. He's loaded. He shoots. Oh, he just shot 1. Did he just shoot 1 or what is going on here? Oh. When the screen did that, I thought he fired 1. Sorry, that's the only shot. There you go. Sorry, 1 shot. So we're stabilizing now? I guess that's independent of the shell itself. So it doesn't have anything to do with firing. No, he did use it. And then he shot. Okay, so that has to be the cooldown, right? So X, you get super accurate. Then there's a cooldown. Then you can X again, I guess. Sure. Great. All right. Well, that's that one. All right, let's look at the arty. There's no arty. Just kidding. Tank destroyers and light tanks. This one's pretty funny, actually. Here is the propellant thermal control system. This is the German Super Grill. This is another heat thing. Increasing your next shot's damage and accuracy. Maximum, this is preheat, whatever that means. Penetrating with fewer HP. Oh, that's right. This one's awesome. Anyone with fewer hit points than your average damage is automatically ammo wrecked. Now, to be fair, when you look at hit points remaining and they're somewhere near your average alpha, or near your alpha essentially, that you have a pretty good chance of killing them. But with this thing, essentially there are no low rolls on anyone with less hit points than your alpha. they are automatically ammo racked. Which is kind of fun because you get to see ammo rack ammo rack graphics on the regular. That's what I'm getting from it. Yeah, don't engage one of these if you have less hit points than their alpha. By the way, the alpha is what? 550 hit points or less. Well, I wonder about that, Obandu. Is it possible to get a 0 damage crit on an ammo rack? Which I'm assuming that's an automatic ammo rack. Basically, you're ammo racked if you're 550 hit points or less. End of day. End of story. You're out of the game. You're done. There's no way to, from what I can tell, other than bouncing the shot or taking to the tracks. But if you're hit and pinned, you're done. There's no low roll save for you. Your tops popped. All right, we got the Sturv 10712. This appears to be super. This one, this is really gonna please Pilgrim because this is an actual double X pressing situation. You press X, you get siege mode, which is kind of standard for the Sturv wedge tanks. And if you press X again, you get super siege mode. Now you do get quite a bit slower. It will show you here the difference in the. It does take longer to get into super siege mode, so both of them have a timer. Watch how fast the one spins. Super siege mode is pretty slow, actually. But then you're going to have a reload bonus. I think they've. I don't know why they showed that. That looked to be the same to me. I don't know. It's called pillbox mode. See how fast it fires. The graphic they have for the reload is so small it's hard to tell, but it reloads faster. So it's got pillbox mode. Whatever. More DPM. This one is hilarious. The breaker. The faster it goes faster. It has a super turbo ski. And you can see it filling in with the little superpower, the cooldown, or the preparatory, or whatever. It's going against an already pretty fast heavy tank. Oh, super turbo. So it's just going to get places faster with a bunch of armor. Yep. It's dropping 480, which is not huge, but it has 283 pen. It only does 20, so it's slow. Once the turbo kicks on, it's got much better speed. But what is its armor? Yeesh! 381 with a little bit of angle. 381. That's out of reach for a number of tier 9s, I think. Which it shouldn't see much of, but that's a bunch of armor. Is that the new... I didn't really look at the... What was the Teschenrate? Was it more? And then we have the Borkenkoffer. This is the light tank with the laser beam spotting system. So if you're lit, there's a cooldown. So you hit X, and now people do more damage. To include you, I believe. Hitting a spotted enemy will mark them, meaning they will remain spotted for longer and receive more damage. So it'll be harder for them to get away, and they will receive more damage from you and everyone else. This is if you think someone's there, and you use the power and hit them, then there's a little symbol there where that guy is hiding in a bush. Good luck, man, of course. Of course, with that, it's not as easy to aim at. Even if there's a symbol there, it's kind of hard to understand exactly where the tank is and height and all that kind of stuff. But they can kind of point out hidden tanks. Medium, light tank, or whatever. It doesn't really matter. TD. Talk about kind of a niche thing, but I wonder what the range on that is. I wonder if you could light up. Does it say? Depending on the weather, if it's spotted at the moment impact. Do you think this thing could use its power across the map on proc and spot a SPG back in the usual corner and get the little symbol up on it? I wonder if you can use it outside of draw range. No, you get up on the side of the hill and then kind of look back into that corner. I'm assuming it's only in draw range that you can use this thing, but that's an assumption. I don't know how far, whether it will go past 450 or not, or 500, right? No, 445 draw range. 500 draw range, 445 spotting. So I'm wondering if it will go past 500. And that's that, guys. There's going to be some craziness with these things. Once it gets in the hand of the players, and especially the good players, and they start figuring out how to use some of these things and platoons and things, it's going to be pretty wild what some of these things are going to be able to do. Like poor tier 10s, man. The former king. It's going to initially be not a whole bunch though, because it's just going to take a while for most people to get them, or for them to be proliferated too much. Well, that's the wrong thing to turn off. For them to be proliferated too much, it'll take a while. Obviously, some of the boosting companies will get people in them pretty quickly for people who want to pay for that. So they'll show up, but as far as having, full matchmaker events of tier 10s, that's going to take some weeks or months to get that going. Tier 12 next. What do you think? What's the worst? Which of those powers do you think are the worst? I'm not super jazzed by the ones that increase damage and firepower, and that's what a good number of them were. Those seem like problems because it's just another way to accelerate HP loss on teams. None of them seem to be very defensive, which nobody really wants defensive stuff anyway. A couple of them had to do with speed. I don't know what's worse. I'm a little bit worried about that one light tank one, but of course it's only on one light tank, so I'm not sure how that one will go. But if you're good at light tanks and you know where the bushes are that are a problem and you're getting spotted, I mean, you could always blind shoot those in the past, but now you might be able to find the guy and make him go away. A lot of pressing X and E and powers and manipulations and all that kind of stuff with it. The rocket boosters, you think? Yeah, that one's pretty bad. Because it looks like you can essentially, if you play it right, you'll just always have them. No matter what. It's just going to be a faster tank. And it's carrying a bunch of armor with it, kind of like the BZ. One of the problems with the BZ is that it just gets that much armor and firepower up front quickly. And if you save it, you've got some options later on too. They are gimmicky. A couple of them I think are useful enough that you're going to see them used a bunch though, especially the firepower stuff. The firepower stuff in general is going to get used a lot because that's part of the game. And there's not a lot of negative to any of them, to be honest with you. There's a little bit here and there, but in general, there's not a whole lot of negative to all the different firepower things. Yeah, the Jackal, it does 70 or 80 or whatever it was. One of those things got up to 80. Which one was it? Was that the Jackal? Yeah, it got up to 88 or something. It went to plaid, and I believe it went back in time. Hey, my envelope is here. Let's see. Let's check that out. What is it? What did it say it was? It said it was I don't remember. Oh, it was supposed to finish that last thing. So it's a survival improvement. Okay, not much really. You would think the last one would have something really cool in it. Nope, that's it. That's the whole thing. All envelopes open. So if we go over here now, did I just finish the operations room last event there? I think maybe to-do list finished? No. Huh. There must be something new. Read the time. When the time comes, open envelope containing the report. Oh, maybe that's on this page then. Let me bring it up for you. Maybe I probably did not understand that correctly. Is there an envelope on the table I missed? I bet there is. Is it this? Oh, intelligence report. I guess that time is correct for my central time. It says 10, so I guess it's 10 central, which is what, an hour, 50 minutes from now. All right, there you go. That's where it is. Obandu, are you Eastern? You're probably Eastern time. Okay. So that is the only other thing is inviting someone. So of course you could make your own account and invite yourself or some such thing. What is this? Read the details, check access, and install the... Oh, I got to install the update. Okay. That's to get these two. 3D things, whatever, so if you want them or not. All right. Share my link. How doesn't someone have to actually make an account? It's just a 3D attachment too. It's like, I don't even care. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I think you share the link and then somebody makes an account and then you get that thing. If you want some 3D attachments, which I don't really give a toss. Onslaught Light? What does that mean? I didn't read that. Onslaught Light. 7v7. Oh, Onslaught Light. Oh, you know what? I read that as not Onslaught, but as the other big battle. This is Tier 8 Onslaught. Okay. I totally missed that. 7v7 in Tier 8. Right on, Wargaming. Good on you. Tier 8 only, SPGs and a few vehicles. Have we done this before? I think we have. No ranks or qualification. With lower stakes, play for fun. Why? What? Bloody heck. Wargaming, come on. Standalone, it's not part. Okay, so it's just a little event from the 3rd to the 19th. You can do some premium vehicles. More hit points, less cooldown time, less dispersion close in. Okay, proximity spotting radius is less. Platoons, super platoons, fog of war, all this good stuff, roll skills. New maps, a version of Ruinberg, airfield return, excluded vehicles. SPGs, no. Some tanks may overperform. Okay, well, which ones? Oh, restricted. All right, what do we got? What have we said are problematic? The BZ makes sense. The Grom, sure. You 2 overpowered tanks. The low. The Louvre, the T-34 and the 34, the 50T. What? I mean, I get the BZ-176. To some extent, the Grom. But the Lurva and the T-34 and the 50T being excluded, what? Seriously, of all the tier 8s, those are 3 are somehow problematic? Is that because the Westfield or whatever that map is with the hills, because those are good hold down or some such? I don't understand. Not the 50T. What could possibly be so powerful about the Lurva, the T-34, and my God, the FCM 50T that you've banned them from this? I can actually see the AAT 60 because it's a very good medium, but there's other mediums that are pretty good. What a dumb list. The BZ and the Grom to some extent I get. The rest of it is dumb. Is the Gonzalo though the stupid auto loading thing? I can kind of see that too. I think it is the auto loading thing. Yeah, it's the big cannon guy, or is it just the big? Is it just a big cannon? I guess it's just. Yeah, why is this thing a problem? Yeah, the Caliban is the auto-loading thing, right? This is just has a big gun. What? This list is bizarre. As per the general Onslaught rules, SPG's got it. Plus, some tanks may overperform with Onslaught modifiers conditions, and some vehicles are not suitable for the format due to their combat rules. That's so stupid. This is dumb. What a dumb list. I guess the Borovsk is fine, right? Sure. Yeah. That's weird. What a weird list. I don't get it. I like it when they say stuff like that that makes no sense without any further explanation. Event progression. Not a whole bunch, fellas. I don't know. It could be a fun mode, though. At least it's tier 8. There's some daily missions, too. Right, Coronal? I don't understand. Well, it does say, not suitable, may overperform with Onslaught modifiers, and some are not suitable to format due to their combat roles. I mean, I can see saying the FCM is not suitable because it's not very good, but there's plenty of other bad tier 8s that you could say the exact same thing about. I don't know how the Lurva or the T-34 overperform. I don't remember what the magic powers are, but they can be used on any tank in there, not just the... I don't get it. It's weird. Whatever. I don't have to get it. Doesn't matter if Guido understands. It doesn't matter. All right, guys. Appreciate everybody coming by. We're going to call it a day. Let's go find somebody to raid. How's my drops and rewards situation going? Ooh, I got a mystery drop coming up soon. Nice. Let's go find someone to raid here. Appreciate everybody coming by. Have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy your Labor Day tomorrow, if you have it off. I know I will. I'm going to watch a little more college football. Oh, speaking of that, we didn't discuss that, but college football is back. Fantastic. Big news up in Tallahassee. They beat the Bama. Crimson Tide go down, so to speak, to the Noles. Great game. That was fun to watch, actually. Some other pretty good games. The Texas-Ohio game was not a fantastic game, but it was interesting. Probably some underperformance there by a couple quarterbacks, I think. Definitely going to see a change in the number 1. That's for sure. Who got banned? What happened? What's going on in chat? Someone's banned? All right. Who do we go raid? No, Grendel, we're not going to talk about that. I did not draft him into my fantasy football team either. Just the standard one? Just the standard ban? Good. Who needs some viewers? Do. Oh, yeah, something. Blaster Yoda. All right, we're raiding Blaster Yoda. Good name. Good name. There he is. Blaster Yoda. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Like I said, have a great rest of your weekend. We'll have videos tomorrow. And for the week, we'll have Coffee Talk. And next week, Coffee Talk, the 2.0 will be out. Will be out. And we will have a new... We didn't talk about it, but we do have a new... Battle Pass coming. Remember, you want to slide the slider, but also remember your points you have to use, coins, whatever they are. No, let's get this straight. Your vouchers you have to use, they will not transfer, but your tokens will transfer as you build up for the tanks you can get from Battle Pass. So use your vouchers. All right. Starting a raid. You guys have a fantastic one. It'll be Coffee Talk 2.0. That's a good point. Coffee Talk 2.0. I love it. Watch the streams. Get your mystery drop. Good luck getting a tank. That's all I've got. See ya.